Summary of How Much Land Does a Man Need? By Leo Tolstoy. Poor peasant Pachom and his wife were visited by the woman's older sister. The older sister, who is married to a merchant, brags about her fancy life in the city and makes fun of her sister's simple life in the country. The younger sister supports her way of life by saying that self-sufficiency and simplicity are the way to be good. Pachom joins in and says that if he had enough land, he wouldn't have to worry about anything, not even the devil himself. When the devil hears Pachom's claim, he says he will try to get him to take land. When a local woman who owns land decides all of a sudden that she wants to sell it, Pachom talks her into selling him 30 acres. At first, Pachom seems glad about what he bought. He thinks it would be great if the people in the area didn't keep walking on it. Pachom keeps giving these people fines and taking them to court, which makes things so bad that his neighbors are now threatening to burn down his house. Pachom is unhappy with his cramped life when a passing peasant tells him about a town south of the Volga River where each family gets 25 acres of farmland when they move there. Pachom and his family move to the village. They are welcomed and given 3 times as much land as they had before. Still, Pachom wants more because he thinks that owning land instead of leasing it is the way to really get rich. Just as Pachom is about to buy some freehold land from a poor peasant, a passing trader tells him about all the land in the faraway Bashkirs area. During tea, the trader tells how, after giving the Bashkirs a few gifts, he was able to buy 13,000 acres from them for just 20 kopecks each. Pachom leaves his family and goes to the Bashkirs country. When he gets there, they are nice but strange, and they give Pachom kumis to drink. As the passing trader told him, Pachom gives the Bashkirs several gifts, and they are eager to return his kindness. Pachom wants to know if he can buy some of their land. Soon, the Bashkir elder shows up and agrees to sell Pachom as much land as he can circle in one day for 1,000 rubles, as long as Pachom gets back to where he started before sundown. Pachom agrees right away. That night, Pachom has a strange dream in which the Bashkir elder, the passing trader, and the traveling peasant all turn into the devil, who then laughs at a dead and nearly naked figure at his feet. Pachom figures out that the dead person is himself. But when he wakes up, he doesn't think much of the dream. He looks at the land that needs to be claimed, grabs his hoe, and starts to walk toward it. Even though the sun is getting hotter, Pachom can easily cover about 6 miles of land by using the spade to mark his path and taking off his clothes to stay cool. By noon, Pachom is getting tired of the constant sun, but he keeps going. After walking 10 miles, he sees he needs to go faster if he wants to get back before it gets dark. Pachom runs back and gets back to where he started just as the sun is setting over the horizon. He then dies right away from being too tired. The answer to the subject question is that Pachom's grave is dug with the spade by one of his workers. In the end, a man needs only enough land to be buried on.
About the author. Tolstoy was born to rich Russian aristocrats. He was the 4th of their 5 children. Both of Tolstoy's parents died when he was young. After that, he and his brothers were raised by relatives on the family farm, Yasnaya Polyana. Tolstoy studied law at Kazan University when he was young, but he wasn't a good student and soon dropped out. As a young noble, Tolstoy worked to make serfs' lives better and spoke out for their rights. Tolstoy soon joined the army and started writing. In 1852, he put out his first book, Childhood. Afterward, he became an artillery officer and served in the Crimean War. There, he was known for his bravery and rose to the rank of 2nd lieutenant because of it. After the war, Tolstoy spent a lot of time traveling around Europe. In 1862, he went back to Yasnaya Polyana to marry Sofia Andreevna Bears. Between 1863 and 1888, Tolstoy and Bears had 13 children. During this time, Tolstoy wrote most of his big works, like War and Peace. In the 1870s, Tolstoy had a moral crisis and a spiritual awakening. After that, he called himself a Christian anarchist and pacifist, rejected all material wealth, and devoted his life to peaceful struggle against the state and Russian autocracy. Tolstoy's radical, open beliefs and his desire to give away all of his money and fortune hurt his marriage. Bears didn't agree with many of Tolstoy's political and religious ideas, and she got tired of the many spiritual followers he brought to their farm. In 1910, when he and his wife were no longer together, he took his daughter Alexandra on a trip. The trip was too much for Tolstoy, who was already sick and old. He died of pneumonia in Ostapovo, Russia, at the age of 82.
Hope we summarized it fully and you liked it. Please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel so that we are motivated to create more videos.